Built by one of the premier car builders of the world, where quality is...
The lady you see here is my wife, Dorothy Merrifield.
Hello.
She is my first wife. She has been living with me now since July the 1st, 1928.
Right. We were married at Cedar Lake, Indiana.
Yes.
And we've been married 54 years this year. Right?
55.
55?
28 plus 55
55.
is 83.
I'm 72 years old now. And Bill's 75.
I'm in my 76th year, and closer to 76 than 75. I'll be 76 August the 30th, 1983. You can send your presents to 4708 Foster Way, Carmichael, California.
The date today is June the 5th, 1983.
That's right, it's Sunday. And we're planning on showing you a copy of a movie that was taken, well, different dates. Taken in Illinois and from 1933 through 1936.
1936, right.
1936. The pictures that you will see are of Dorothy's Aunt Lillian at her Aunt Lillian's house, where Dorothy lived with her during her high school term. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And go ahead. The cat's got her tongue, so.
Well, we went to high school together, and we met.
We met in high school. Our families.
We went to the same church.
Our families were acquainted.
And we didn't start going together, though, until Bill was through high school and living in Chicago. He was working for Swift and Company as a bookkeeper. He was studying for the CPA exam, and he passed that. And
after a long time.
For a while. After Billy was born, actually. And then he started working for Price Waterhouse and Company as a CPA.
Well, I worked for Price Waterhouse before I passed the CPA examination. I left Swift and Company in 1931 and went to work for Price Waterhouse for a couple winter seasons. And that was not very dependable, so I got a permanent job with Automatic Final Index Company, with offices in Chicago and factory in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I worked for them until 1940, when I got a job with George Rossiter and Company, a certified public accounting firm in Chicago. I later became a partner of that firm.
4 years after we were married, our first child was born, who was William Richard. And 2.5 years later, John Stephen.
In 1935.
1935. And 7 years later, David Glenn Merrifield was born, 1942. Johnny was a Down syndrome baby, and he died.
They didn't call it that in those days.
They called it Mongolism. But he lived to be 33 years old when he died. And
1968, we were in California.
We moved to California in 1956 when Dad started to work for the state of California as Auditor General.
They established the Office of Auditor General in 1955 and made a nationwide search for an Auditor General, and I was fortunate enough to be selected as the first Auditor General of the state of California. And I worked there for 17 years until my retirement in December of 1972. So I'm in my 11th year of retirement right now.
This is the third house that we've lived in since we came to Sacramento 25 years ago. And this is our retirement home. We built this about 16 to 17 years ago.
Wasn't it more than 25 years ago we came here?
1956.
26 27 years ago.
27 years. I don't quibble for a few years one way or the other.
Well, you do when you get
Approximately.
you do when you get to the end of the line. You quibble.
Yes, here we are. We're going to show you pictures that were taken in 1932 and 36 when we were quite young. I was 22, and I believe Dad was about 25. No, I was about 23, and you were about 26. And we were quite young then, and now, 50 years later, here we are, slightly
Struggling along.
a little
Not quite as in good health as we were in those days.
worse for wear, I guess you could call it.
Doing all right in spite of all our complaining.
Yes, we're fairly well for our ages.
And we're very fortunate to be able to eat regularly, and you can see we eat regularly.
Now we're going to show you the pictures that were taken when Billy was a baby, and when then a few other pictures when he was around 4 to 5 years old. The pictures aren't very good because after 50 years the film has deteriorated quite a bit, and the camera we used wasn't very good.
Well, it was a good camera, but the film was quite old.
The color has faded out in most of the film, so
But
you can see partly, but it's partly colored.
the pictures on this videotape are taken from 3 segments, 3 different pieces of film.
The other one didn't come out.
Oh,
The third one didn't come out.
Oh, there was one
From 2 rolls of film.
Didn't reproduce. But some of the subject matter that you'll see, in 1933, my dad, who was a retired farmer in Illinois, went to work with the Salvation Army on a farm west of Chicago, Illinois. This farm was 320 acres, and it was turned over to the Salvation Army by the owner for use as a truck garden to raise food for itinerant men who were being housed in a William Wrigley Company warehouse in Chicago. And each week, 1/3 of those men would come out to the farm and do the gardening work, raising the food with my dad doing the superintending. And he was also a lay preacher, and he would preach the Sunday sermon in the barn, which was set up as a barracks on the farm.
Well, now we're about to begin. I hope you enjoy our color here. We look like a couple of Easter eggs.
There'll
Yellow and
be a little pause here
Be a
while
pause.
I turn on the
Okay,
recorder.
Go ahead.
Getaway for Americans.
What you're about to see is a tape taken from a movie film which was produced in 1932 to 1936 in the Chicago area. This particular view here is of this is Edna Merrifield, our sister-in-law, and it was this picture was taken at her home in Champaign, Illinois. This is a picture of me, William Merrifield, and our son, William, taken in Champaign, Illinois. The boy with the cap on is William. This is my mother, Susan Merrifield, and my dad, Dan Merrifield. This is Edna Merrifield, our sister-in-law, wife of Dan Merrifield. These pictures were taken in 32 to 36, and they have been transferred to a video cassette, and the quality has deteriorated in the years. This is a picture of the home of Lillian Lloyd, Dorothy's aunt. This is Lillian Lloyd with Dorothy. Here they are again. This is Clifford and Eloise Lloyd, Dorothy's cousins. This is a picture of Mrs. Lloyd and Eloise on the porch with Dorothy and myself in the front. This house was at 212 West White Street in Champaign, Illinois. This is my father and mother, Daniel and Susan Merrifield. This is our son, Johnny, who was a Down syndrome child, as you can see. This is Billy Merrifield at the age of about 4 years. Here I am in a white Palm Beach suit, younger and slimmer and healthier than I am now. This is a picture of Billy in a pram. This is Dorothy with Billy. This was taken on a farm 25 miles west of Chicago, Illinois. This farm was a couple of miles north of Wheaton. Here I'm taking Billy for a little ride on my shoulders. This is my sister Blanche. This is Billy again. Billy's trying to crawl without getting his knees in the grass. There's a little change in direction for a new start. This is my father, Daniel Merrifield, and my mother, Susan, and my sister, Blanche. This is Dorothy with Billy. This is Dorothy eating Billy's cookie. She's taking a big bite there. She spoiled it for me because Billy wouldn't offer a bite for me. This is Billy riding on a pony. I'm trying to keep him from falling off. I don't know who the other boys are. Probably boys in the neighborhood. This is a view of the itinerant workers that came out to the farm. They were rotated once every 3 weeks to work on the farm. This is Dorothy coming out of 1018 North Austin Boulevard in Oak Park, wheeling Billy. And here I'm doing the same thing. Billy at this age was hard to control. We had to keep him on a leash because he'd pick the dandelions all the way up and down the street if we didn't. Here we're wheeling him in the pram.
Yeah, it's right. Oh, I mean the doctor's phone. Oh.
You got it on camera instead of VCR here.
Well,
Is that the way it should be?
I don't know.
You shouldn't be talking about the camera when we're being...
We can always erase.
Can you pan in farther? Fade it in, huh?
Sure, I can do it. I'd like to take watch.
Pan around here and come around.
Oh,
I'd like to present to you.
Here is our son 50 years later.
Whoops, senorita. 50 years
This is our
later.
son Bill 50 years later. He just saw his baby pictures, and here he is now. 51 years old. He's still my baby.
You always liked him best.
Don't get such close-ups. I look terrible. Yeah.
Well,
You think being at a distance helps? Yeah. Here's Kenny. Here comes Kenny.
hi, Ken.
Come on, Billy. No, we're not used to this. Come on, Billy.
Uh-oh.
I don't like this.
I don't either.
You don't like it?
It's a race.
Tell us, Ken, what's happening in your life? You know, this is recording everything you say. That's all right. Say something, somebody.
Say something, Bill.
Here's Judy in the end. And her striped blouse.
Let's just close up. You get a close up on that doll there.
Oh, there's Becky and Laura. Which one, Grandpa?
Both of them.
Here it goes.
Oh, got the camera.
Tell us, Becky, how are your finals going?
Yeah.
Billy, are you going to graduate? No, Billy.
Do you think this would be better if you couldn't see what was coming out on the TV?
I think so.
Hi, Bill.
The TV first, Billy, then you can go.
Sure don't like the color of that
Let
chair,
your
though.
dad take a nice...
That brown chair sure looks green.
There he is.
There,
You just saw Bill as a
Billy,
baby.
go sit in front of your dad. Recording, and let
No.
us
You just saw Bill as a baby, and now we're going to see him in real life
Okay, there.
50 years later.
There's no great life.
Turn it around, show Bill.
Don't look at the TV, look at the camera, Billy.
Dave, there's no
Can I
red
play
light.
You're looking at David and Bill and Billy now.
Can I play baseball now?
Have an interview here between you
This
two
is
guys.
David.
About what?
Tell us about how you're managing the Little League team that Billy's playing on.
We're doing lane.
How many games have you won so far this year?
About 4 or 5.
4 or 5. How many did you lose?
6.
More than that.
And how many did you tie?
2.
2. Good.
What's your favorite position to play, Billy?
I don't know.
Well, what do you
I have
like?
2 favorite positions.
You like
Look
to
at the
play?
camera,
You like to pitch, Billy?
Yes, I like to fish.
It's really dumb.
Is it coming out in good color?
Sure.
Do you like real estate, Dave?
Yes.
How's business,
I
Dave?
wish I had some.
Can I
He
go?
owns
How many houses did you sell this year?
Can I go now?
Sit down over there.
Don't wait a minute, Billy. Sit down by Dad a second.
good.
Billy, this is, in 20 years, you can see your children.
No, after 50
They'll be
years,
infants, they don't understand.
after 50 years, Mom,
Camera away from
Mom, why'd you let me come over
if you don't, I'm going to go change that down.
Laura.
Now we're looking at Bill and Greg. Back to Bill and Greg.
Bill and Greg.
Here we are, back again at Bill and Greg.
This is our baby that
Meanwhile-
was crawling around that you just saw a while ago.
Tell us,
50
Bill,
years
what are you
later.
doing this summer?
Does he look the same or not? And this is Grace's wife.
If he were to turn his head, you'd see a bald spot on the back. That would.
Grace.
Grace.
30 years.
31.
Can't believe it.
31.
Can't
23rd of
believe
August.
You guys must be old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And to think that he's
Hi, Mom! Hi, Mom, smile. Mom, Grandma's narrating.
This is great. This is Judy, David's wife.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Where's Grandpa?
Maybe I will sometime.
Where's Grandpa?
19 years this summer.
Grandpa, I just hit the ball over your fence.
Tough luck.
Great.
Which fence?
That fence.
What is your father
Go around and knock on the door and then get
Moving right along to Kenny's space.
Here we have Kenny.
No,
This is
these speech.
Judy and David's, Judy and,
Oh, yes, Bill. I like your
Bill
shoes,
is
Bill.
great.
What are you doing looking at my socks?
Oh, there he is.
You're too close.
Up there.
Oh,
There you go.
hocus pocus.
Now
ask Kenny. No, Ken, tell us. No, Grandpa's married you.
Don't do that.
Tell us about your girlfriends, Kenny.
Wendy?
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 Tell us about Wendy.
How about Wendy? Who is she?
Got her picture with you? Let's see your picture.
Put her
Put your
picture
picture
on.
on the camera. Put your picture on this so we can see Wendy.
Do you carry a girl's picture in your pocket, Ken? Do you?
Usually in his shirt. Usually in his shirt pocket.
Close to his heart.
How old are you, kid?
16 right now.
Oh, momentarily.
How much are you going to be tomorrow?
16.
He survived.
Tomorrow, October 6th.
No, not kidding. Tomorrow is not.
You see that little-
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Is that little red white flashing there in front?
Yes. What year are you in school?
Right now?
Yes.
Summer, I'm not in school.
You're not in school.
But I'll be senior next year.
You will be, for sure.
Well, I haven't got
Seem to
my
have
grades yet, but
That's some promise of that.
Why aren't you in school now? School still.
You're not involved in sports at school?
No, you're not. Involved in woodshop.
I believe you were on the soccer team this year, Kenny. Tell us how your soccer team did, Kenny.
I was good. We won 2 games.
How many did you play?
10. It's close. So,
Sounds like
it
very
was
little.
just because of the refs, though. That's the only reason why.
Oh, yeah. It was bad refs on those 10 games.
They brought in some of those Sacramento refs.
Yep.
We have one in Little League, just like that.
Mm-hmm. We had some good refs, too. 2 times.
2 times that you won?
Yeah.
What is Sunday school teacher?
What?
What did your Sunday school teacher do?
Well, I'm going to go over here. He's turning his back on me,
My
so.
Sunday school teacher.
I'm going to go over here and see.
Now, you can interview this one, Dave.
And are you going to swim this summer, Becky?
On the swim team?
Yes.
Oh, good. I want to keep that now. We got that recorded.
When are you going to start going to work out?
Next week.
Next week.
And what year in school are you, Becky? What happened to your foot?
Becky, who are your parents?
My parents are David Glenn Merrifield and Judith Ann Merrifield.
And are you enjoying this building?
No.
What is your favorite subject in school?
Wood chop.
Math. Not
For the
yours.
record, everybody should know that this is the 20th century.
Right.
Tell me, Becky, what events do you swim in at
Where's
the
the
club?
Matt?
Butterfly.
You swim the butterfly?
Valedictorian of her class next year.
No, my senior year.
Her senior year, I mean.
Oh, it's nice to have goals then.
What, she has a straight A
And
yet?
Laura. Let's talk to Laura. Laura, what school are you in?
Arden.
Arden
For how many more days?
3 more days. Push up the camera.
What grade are you in, Cora?
8. Almost a freshman.
What are your favorite activities these days?
Besides boys.
No, Laura doesn't like boys.
Pardon?
I'm not into boys.
You're not into boys yet, huh?
I'm not either.
That's good.
What are your favorite activities?
I don't know.
Are you going to swim this year?
You know, we got this on Sunshine Light instead of...
That may be why we couldn't get the balance.
Oh, now we're blue.
Oh, fantastic.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yes, much nicer.
Much nicer.
And Laura, what awards are you winning?
Who is this doll that we're looking at right now?
I
That's what
really
I
don't
want to
have
know.
time to list them all right now, so I just...
Well, there's a question.
How many awards
How
you
many
give me?
awards he's going to get?
Oh.
Are you embarrassed, Laura?
Just get the camera away from me.
Okay. We'll go over here and see who we can get over here
Don't
someplace.
go on my dad. Stay there for years.
Well, okay, he went on you.
Me too.
You already did that, huh?
What are you doing
Well,
here?
Grandpa, it's your turn.
You got two
Grandpa?
on camera.
There.
Manuel?
Maybe if I get behind here, it might be able to...
Well, that's the picture of the door.
This has been a
You notice-
big door.
you notice-
Served us
right
for
here.
many years.
This is it.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
There she is.
Station identification.
The matriarch.
This is not your TV.
Show us your teeth.
I don't
Show
want,
us that you still got teeth there.
don't bring it too close up, because you'll see all my bad features. Which I have many.
Here they are.
It's still kind of a green chair.
So
This will be brown.
Two folks who are responsible
Here's our
for all this.
grandpa.
Yeah. Looking a bit jaundiced this evening.
If it wasn't for us, none of these people would be here.
Oh,
I think I would.
Yeah, Judy would.
Oh, it's Judy.
Grace would.
Grace and Judy would.
They get all the credit.
I'm talking about all these young ones.
You're not responsible for all these mistakes.
Let's see here. Oh. In this one here.
Well, you wouldn't be here very long.
How long a tape is this?
This tape will go 6 hours.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Well, we don't want it to run out.
Oh, good, that would
How long
make
is
it
this movie gonna be?
2 a.m.
All right.
That's wonderful.
Consensus, I think, on that one.
Have a commercial.
And there is Billy dropping off to sleep.
Billy, Oh,
I said yes. Huh.
Quote some scripture for us. There you go. That's a...
Eva chica hingala. Marika dilala.
It's a drunk song.
Eva chica hingala. Marika dilala. Hina hina. Hilda.
I'll translate for us.
She knows it.
You can do that. None of us know what he's saying.
That's okay.
Bible translator, singing drunk songs.
That's it.
That's a translation.
That's it.